Yo, what is up guys? I'm Chef Vapor. Welcome back to the channel. Got a few things to talk about today. Well, really just one main thing today. But we are going to be talking about the Crown UWELL 3 tank. It is a pretty beautiful tank. The only two that I have personally seen in person are this royal kind of blue and a matte black. They both look very, very nice. But the biggest reason about the review today is I've heard several bad reviews about this. I haven't honestly even looked at the YouTube reviews on them. Just people that have used them and called me and asked about them and things like that. They've not really had any positive things to say about this tank. And in my personal opinion, the Crown 1 was pretty good. The Crown 2 was kind of a flop. And then the Crown 3 is here. So, I had to check it out and see how I personally view it. So, I'm just going to take this off my mod here. It does come with the premium colored drip tip, which is actually pretty cool. The fillet, you unscrew this top here. And then you've got your two little fill holes on the sides. Pretty simple. And then your airflow, your adjustable airflow is down here, just like normal. And we're going to unscrew this bottom here. That's the bottom. And then this sticking up right here is the coil itself. You pull that out and that's how you change it. It's very, very simple. The one that I have in here right now is the 0.25, which is rated from 80 to 90 watts, as well as it comes with an extra one, which is a 0.5 that is rated from 70 to 80 watts, or from 60 to 70 watts, something like that. Pretty low wattage. Overall, though, I'm pretty happy with this tank. I really am. We're just going to screw this back on here. So that's how you get into the tank. Breaks down very, very simple. It's maybe not as traditional as some of you might be used to, but it's pretty simple overall. So I'm going to screw this guy on. Now the biggest complaint that I've had people talk about this tank is that it gets really hot on them. And I don't know what to say to that, because I've had this and I've been running it pretty hardcore, if I do say so myself. And I haven't had it get that hot. Honestly, it hasn't even gotten as hot as my TFE 12 gets, so I don't know what they're talking about. But I haven't had it get hot, at least hot enough to burn me. It does get warm, but I don't think I've ever owned a tank that doesn't get warm. So it leads me to believe that these people are thinking that this competes with like a TFE 8 and a TFE 12, and it doesn't. The Crown 3 is a completely different thing. So this is reading at 0.27. It's a 0.25 coil. I'm running it at 85 watts on the Sigeli Chaos right now. I'm going to rip off of it a little bit, show you some clouds, and then we'll get more into talking. See, even chain vaping it like that, I'm not getting any dry hits. The flavor is actually really immaculate. I'm very impressed with this. But regardless, this is not going to compete with a TFE 8 or a TFE 12 or a Maxo V12 or an Arctic V12 or a SigPet Eco 12 or anything like that. It's not competing with the 12 series. In my book, what this really, it's not really competing with a whole lot of anything, but if you want to stack it up against something, it's going to stack up against any of the tanks that are really meant to shine under 100 watts. So that would include but not limit to the original Aspire Cleto, that would reference to the TFE 8 Baby and Big Baby Beasts, that would go to the Super Tank, that would go to Atlantis and stuff like that. That's where this guy comes to knock people out. And I think it wins in that, personally. I own a Baby Beast. I love that thing. You guys know I'm a huge supporter of Smoke. I love Smoke products. I think they do a very good job over at Smoke. So I think if we're comparing the two, Baby Beast wins in the fact that it's easier to find coils for. They have pretty cool colors, so I'm going to give that to both tanks. So the Baby Beast is easier to find coils for. It's easier to fill, although you don't have to worry about seals with this. So while this gets easier to fill, this doesn't have a seal to replace. It's just metal. So keep that in mind as well. They both get a point in that category. They're both just as easy to change coils with. They're both just as easy to change drip tips with. They're both just as easy to change airflow with. This, I think, has better airflow personally. And I also think this has better flavor personally, where the Baby Beast is going to win in cloud. So that's pretty much it. And this is the cloud coil, technically speaking, because it comes with two. You have a 0.25, which is 80 to 90 watts, and then you have the 0.5 that I was talking about earlier, which I believe is 70 to 80 or 60 to 70. One of those. It's going to be under the 100 watts. Both of them are. But overall, I'm very impressed with this Crown 3. I think in the weight class that it holds, I think it comes, if not at the top, it's right underneath the Baby Beast for me. I think it beats out the Cleto in cloud and flavor. I think it beats out the Baby Beast in flavor. I honestly don't have any complaints for it. I really don't. So if you guys have been wondering what the Crown 3 hype is all about, why there's so many complaints and stuff like that, pick one up. They're relatively cheap. They're about the same price as the Baby Beast. You might spend a few dollars more on it. It does hold 5 milliliters of juice, so it wins in that category versus the Baby Beast. And the company's saying that this glass is made of quartz. Now, I don't know how much I believe them, but that's what they say. I'm not going to disagree with them or bash on them too hard about it. They say it's quartz, which means that this should hold up a hell of a lot better than any other glass tank you've had. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I have no bad reviews on this. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, and it does it very well. And it's not getting hot. I'm putting it right up against my cheek. It's not hot. It is warm. It's not hot. You're not going to get third-degree burns, and that's what people make it seem to be. It doesn't get that hot. It's a really nice tank. It really is. I'm very impressed with it. So if you guys are just looking for a little tank I know sometimes on this channel I like to focus on the big bad things, you know, big cloud, huge this, huge that, huge wattage, stuff like that. But if you're just looking for a simple tank, you want to be under 100 watts, that's where you prefer to vape, you just want some nice flavor, you don't really care about cloud. And I mean, I'll show you a cloud again. The cloud isn't anything to bitch about. That's a decent sized cloud for under 100 watts. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where people are getting the bad reps. I like this tank a lot. So if you guys have any questions on it, leave it down in the comments. But if you're looking for a tank that goes under 100 watts, I think this is the guy for you personally. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this. I will say one more thing, and that is there is holes in here, as you can see. I personally try and line at least 2 cottons with the coil. Try to line those 2 up as close as possible with that. I don't know if it really matters. That's just something that I personally do. That's the only other thing I've got to say. But if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, guys. Comment down below, like I said, if you got any questions on this, you have any other things that you want to talk about with me, just leave them down in the comments. I read all the comments. So thank you guys so much for watching. You can follow me on my Instagram at chef_vapor. And that's it, guys. Hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you on the next video. Keep on vaping.